How many of you know your why? And you hear this, if you've ever worked in direct sales, you always hear this idea of you've got to know your why, you've got to know your why. And a lot of people were very inspired by our Team Connect call. If you haven't had a chance, if you weren't able to join that live or you weren't able to go back and listen to it yet or watch it, I guess it's technically a video from that Zoom call that Julie and Janet and Melanie did. Go back and watch that. That's in the True Colors group. And they had multiple people share testimonials, and each one of those testimonials, each one of them got back to their why. They remembered why they started in this business. So having a why is so important. And I actually got a little bit away from mine as well, and going to conference and talking with a lot of people made me refocus on my why and made me think a little bit more about it. So what do I mean when I'm talking about your why? Well, sometimes you'll hear in this business that your why has to make you cry or anything like that. I don't know if it necessarily has to make you cry, but it has to be big enough that it motivates you, that it gets you moving, that it gets you up in the morning and bouncing out of bed and making those phone calls and doing those income producing activities. So your why has to be something that keeps you with that consistency, that keeps you going. And you in this business, I mean, a lot of us join this business for a lot of different reasons, but those reasons aren't always the things that keep us going in it. So I'm gonna give you a great example. I will tell you that very honestly, I joined Color Street because I was afraid of missing out. That's the honest truth. I mean, initially when I joined this company, I was like, wow, this has a lot of potential. This could be something really big. I don't want to look back on this as something I missed out on. There was another company, I've told you guys, a few of you the story. There was another company that came to me very early on and I said no to it because there were some things about it that I wasn't sure. And I remember having major FOMO afterwards because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm watching this company explode, and I turned it down. And so when Color Street came around and I really started to think about it, I was like, yeah, this could be really good. This could be huge. And I'm not gonna like it if I don't get on board with this from the get-go. And so I did. But that's not enough. FOMO or getting out of the house or, you know, being able to hang out with your friends or whatever, that's not enough to keep me at least doing the consistent activities to build this business big. So I had to find my why, and it needed to be personal to me. It's really important that your why actually be about you. And I know that for some of us, especially those of us who are moms, that can be sometimes hard to swallow when we're thinking about the fact that, well, you know, if we're trying to do something for our kids or whatever, but it really has to be about you. It can be about your kids as well, but it also has to be something for you. And so a great example, your why can't just be, well, I want to make money. I mean, it's not about the money. It's about what the money can do for you. So you need to understand what that money can do for you. And that's the part that's important. So yeah, we all want to make more money. I mean, I've never actually met a person and been like, so would you like to make more money? And they're like, no, thanks, I'm good. You know, I'm rich enough. I don't really need to make any more money. There's no more good I want to do in the world, or, you know, nothing else I want to buy. I have never ever met anyone, and maybe there are people out there who exist like that, but I think even Bill Gates would be like, yeah, I'll take more money. Sure, why not? Then I can build another school, or I can, you know, go out and do more philanthropy. I mean, there's so many reasons why people want to make money. So getting back to that, obviously your why then needs to be about you. It's about what the money can do for you. And it is, it needs to be something that you can smell, that you can taste, that you can like wrap your soul around. It has to be something that you're like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you know, I don't know. Well, I'm gonna give you my example. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about my why. I'm gonna get real here, and I might cry. You never know. I'm a crier, it happens. But I often joke around about my why and about how I want a beach house, okay? And that sounds kind of frivolous on the surface, but it's an easy answer. It's something, you know, like I can be like, yep, I really want a beach house. It'd be amazing to have, you know, a vacation home. And although I'm kind of torn on whether or not it's a beach house or a lake house, but we can get back to that later. Some sort of vacation home that my family can go to, that we can spend summers at. And what I can see, feel, and taste about this house, and what gets a little bit deeper for me, is that in my life, I love traveling. I love taking vacations. I love going places with my family, and I really enjoy that. I love going places by myself too, but so I really enjoy it. I enjoy traveling. I love getting out there. But as many of you know, my oldest son has a lot of special needs, and so travel becomes kind of difficult. It is much harder now for, you know, us to go somewhere. You know, it's not, we're really not like a airplane friendly family right now. It's not the best thing for us. And so I want the option to be able to take my other kids places maybe and have a little extra money to do that. I mean, I'm doing a mother-daughter Disney vacation in September because of Color Street. So that's part of it as well. But getting back to my son and getting back to my beach house, when I think about a family vacation or a vacation home or some way that we can like be us, I think about building my dream vacation home that will accommodate my family. And that will be, so when I'm online and I'm looking for a vacation home for us, I'm constantly looking at what's gonna work for Bobby. Like, do we have enough bedrooms so that, you know, he doesn't have to share a room because he gets up during the night and he gets up really early in the morning. You know, are the bathrooms gonna be where we can get in and we can shower him and we can change him and we can do those types of things? Are there a lot of knickknacks in the house? Because that's not, like, not good. I've walked into rental homes before and we have to like pull all the knickknacks and hide them away and do all these other things. And, you know, I know that doesn't really work well for our family. You know, where is it? Is it somewhere where we have a nice view or have a view of the water? Is there a pool? Is there, you know, so then some of these other things within our lives, and does that pool accommodate my son? Like, is it going to be a pool that he can enjoy? Or is it going to be one that's going to be, you know, more difficult for us to enjoy together as a family? And so there's a lot of specifics around us when we vacation. And so my beach house is a place that we can go, that we can be a family and we can be together. And that's really important to me because I love to do that. And so being able to provide that for my family is a real passion point for me. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I did something, okay? And I talk about it. I talk about, you know, that someday, you know, mommy's gonna buy us a beach house, and it's gonna be a beach house where we can all go and we can have a great time. And then eventually when you guys are out of school, mommy and daddy can go and live there with Bobby. And because that is my ultimate dream, is being able to retire somewhere where my son will enjoy it. He's gonna be living with us probably, you know, for the rest of his life. And if I'm gonna, you know, kind of be in that situation where I'm a lifelong caretaker, I'd like to do it with a really nice view. So that's part of my why. And I know that it's just, again, like I'll joke around about the beach house and that I'm gonna have the, you know, that's a great thing to hear about. But it is, for me, it is the why behind that. It's the layer. Your why has a lot of layers, and it's peeling back that onion and figuring out exactly what it is. So if you're thinking, well, I wanna make more money. Well, why do you wanna make more money? Well, I wanna send my kids to college. Okay, well, why do you wanna, you know, pay for college for your kids? Well, it's just really important to me that they get an education. Okay, well, why is that important to you? Well, you know, my parents didn't pay for me to go to college and I really struggled and it was really hard for me and I just, you know, I have a lot of resentment around it and I don't want my kids to feel that way. I wanna be able to give that to them. I wanna feel like I gave that to them. See how that's different from like, I want to send my kids, you know, I want to pay for my kids' college, to digging down to that deeper level of like, this is something I need. I need to be able to provide that for them. I need to be able to give them this, okay? And then think about, once you kind of dig down and you get down to those layers, think about what your life would be like if it didn't happen. So if you're digging down to those layers and you start to think, okay, if this doesn't happen, if I don't make this happen, how am I gonna feel? Like, oh, if I'm thinking, you know, I really, you know, this is something I really, 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 really want, how am I gonna feel if I don't get there? And that's how you discover your why. You gotta get kind of down and dirty with yourself and be like, why do I want this? And what is that thing that is gonna make me get up and make those phone calls? You know, I posted that Mel Robbins Instagram shot today. And I posted that in our Facebook group because I thought it was really important for everyone to remember that, you know, a lot of people, you see the people up on stage and you see the overnight success. And I hear this all the time. If you've ever watched the Academy Awards or the Emmys or some big awards show for actors and actresses, or listen to an interview with a band or a singer, you'll hear them say things like, people will be like, wow, you know, like, you're this overnight success. And they're like, yeah, I've been working at this for the last 10 to 20 years. Yeah, I'm sure I'm an overnight success. Like, I wasn't a household name for those 10 to 20 years, but I was doing this. I was auditioning for commercials. I was, you know, an extra in movies. I was honing my craft till I got to the point where I became the star that you're now seeing and acknowledging. And so that's the point. Like, someday I would love to see everyone on this team up on that stage flashing a sign with their 6-figure income. I would love to see everyone up there being acknowledged as leaders in this company. But we'll all know when that happens, that didn't happen overnight. That happened because we had a strong why, because we worked with passion and integrity, and we did this and we worked it and we made it happen for ourselves. And that will be such an accomplishment. I mean, I get chills just thinking about it now. I can't wait. So let's do an exercise, basically. I'm gonna post this in the group, and if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're a member of the team, I will email it out to you as well. But what I want you to do is actually, you know, when you have some time, I'm gonna post, like I said, I'm gonna post it in the group. You don't have to do it now, but you can do it now if you want to. But if you grab out your journal, piece of paper, whatever, I want you to sit down and I want you to write this down. Number 1, what is your why? Okay, remember, peel back that onion and get to what it is you really want. So find your why. Number 1, what is your why? Number 2, why is this so important to you? Now I want you to get really specific about that. How do you see this changing your life, affecting your family, or helping you get to where you want to be in the long term? Number 3, if you don't achieve your why, what's the pain you'll experience? So what will this cost you? What will you pay in your life by not taking action in this business? Now, you got to really flesh this out. What will you and your family miss out on in life? And how will that affect your confidence and your self-esteem? And then number 4, when you look ahead 5 years into the future, if you don't achieve your why, where will you be and what will you have given up? All because you didn't follow through and you didn't take the action. All right, so what I want you to do is do this exercise, okay? Sit with yourself, whatever you do to sort of get into your quiet place in your head. You know, maybe sit, do a little meditation, or just get away from the kids for a few minutes, go sit at Starbucks, and just, I will, like I said, I'll post this in the group, these 4 questions, but sit there and really get in touch with it. And then read it to yourself every day. When you wake up in the morning for the next 3 weeks, read it to yourself. Remember what you are doing and why you are doing it. And that's gonna make that color 10, doing those 3 phone calls a day, reaching out to those 10 new people a week, that is gonna make it so much easier because you're gonna remember why exactly you are doing this. All right? So I will chat with you all soon. I am so excited about what's in store for the rest of this month. So many great things are coming, and I'll be back in touch with you all very soon. Bye.